Some time ago, there was an argument, for or against tithe in the church. And I looked at both sides, at least the people who were most vocal. And do you know who was right? Neither. I'm going to try my best to prove it to you, to help you understand. First and foremost, look at Matthew 23:23. Matthew 23:23. Just something I want to show you. In Matthew 23:23, Jesus used strong language to address the scribes and the Pharisees. He says, "Woe! This is a declaration of judgment against people." This language was used in the Old Testament for strong sins like idolatry. Like, this is what you use when you see people who know the living God instead going after idols. When they have graven images, and they have calabash and fetish things, the same language that was used for them by Ezekiel is used for the scribes and Pharisees. So now you want to wonder, what did they do to deserve this kind of rebuke? Guess what? Tithing. Not because it's wrong. Now listen, let's just read it. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. So it's not like what they were doing was wrong. They were hypocritical about it. And I'm going to come to that. It says, "For ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted weightier matters." Can you say weightier matters? You have omitted weightier matters of the law: judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done. So listen, he says, listen, you gave tithe and that's good. You did what you ought to have done. He says, but you shouldn't have left the other undone. So there are some things that you do that disqualify the good things that you do. You have to understand this. So now, Paul tells the church at Corinth, he says, even if I give all my possession to the poor, if it is from the wrong heart and motive, if I have not love, it is nothing. Listen, it doesn't count before God at all. Come on, are you with me? So now, there is a weightier matter, an overarching principle that now guides generosity in such a way that there are some people who are tithing and are not in the will of God. There are some people who are tithing and are in the will of God. There are some people who are not tithing and are in the will of God. There are some people who are not tithing and aren't in the will of God. There is a weightier matter that guides and influences all these things. And listen, oh my God, I wish I had more time to share on this. There are 5 pillars of balanced teaching. 5 pillars. I just itemized this just to help our discernment. 5 pillars. Number 1, correct information. What did I say? So, when you hear someone teach something and you go through the thorough Berean approach to check what he's saying, if it aligns with the truth, you are checking for correct information. Unfortunately, this is 1 out of 5. This is 1 out of 5. For many people, this is where their discernment stops. Oh, it's correct. Number 2, complete information. Listen, the information can be correct but incomplete. At the end of the day, you believe Jesus is coming again? Yes. You believe Jesus is coming again? Yeah. You believe Jesus is coming again? I beg. Priority. Say priority. Some things are more important. If you say Jesus is not coming again, this is what the Bible says. I'm going to do it. That's something you might not have developed. Now, some of you have parents that have not missed tithe for 25 years. And you feel you are the one to teach them on tithing. That is not a New Testament ordinance. You feel you are the one. You have something to do you know what it means not to miss tithe for a decade? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know what it says about the place of money in your life? The place of God in your heart? Even if you are wrong, listen, you get to heaven and you discover, oh, this thing, God was not really looking at it like that. Oh, it was just going to, help the church and everything. But the exact opposite motive for giving. Giving is meant to help us put money in its place. But now, giving has become something you do for more money. And so you've heard 2,000 teachings on sowing and reaping, sowing upwards, sowing to the next level. So now, generosity has become a religious avenue for the practice of covetousness. It is one of the most wicked strategies of the devil, that what was meant to make you better, make or sponsor the spread of the gospel. Both are important. Come on, are you with me? The Bible teaching is this: you must belong to a local church and be committed there financially. And in all this doing, you must also give and honor your parents. Fine. It doesn't matter how rich they are. Practice generosity. When someone has been there for you, it might even be a senior colleague, not necessarily someone spiritual. You know, this generation, our generation in particular, our parents, have you noticed, they don't joke with gifts. When they are going to visit, they just, even if it is, juice or something, they buy something. We will just come empty. Hi, guy, how far? It must change. Grow up. Our generation, if they are coming to take. What did you cook? Expecting some